Good morning, all. I am going to try to make this short and sweet about how to put the marking guide into your classes. If you remember last week or a couple weeks ago, I sent out this example to you all of a table of different things that I'm going to use for a marking guide that I'm going to create. This is for an assignment in Biology B. So that is running this term, and this assignment has already been completed by students. So I am going to have to wait until the end of the term to put this one in. So the one I'm going to show you today is not this one. However, I hope that you have all of this complete. So for your own assignment. So here, basically, it's taking an assignment that is either multi-step or has multi-different categories. So for a paper, it'd be content, and another category would be spelling, another category would be uh, citations or something, for example. This assignment just happens to have multi-steps. So I divided it in activity A, B, and C. I assigned a point value for each activity. This is a gizmo, and then also developed some common feedback for each of those activities. So for your assignment, particular assignment, please divide them into either uh, different parts or different criterion, such as when I like the paper example I just said, and then also develop some common feedback for that particular category. Once you have that, you're going to go into that particular assignment. This is just a practice assignment that I have in the old careers class. So I'm just titling it Marking Guide Practice. But here would be where you go to your class and you click Edit Settings for that assignment. And then your assignment title would be here and your UD template, lesson template would be here. And when you scroll down, you're going to find grade. And usually here we put in the maximum grade and we use simple direct grading. Well, for this particular, we're going to select marking guide. And then you're going to click save and display. And that's actually going to bring you to a screen where you are going to work on your marking guide. So for this, you should click define new grading form from scratch. And then it's going to bring you to this page. Now here's where you want to title your actual marking guide. Think of this as kind of like a rubric. What do you want to title it? So marking guide practice marking guide. I would title my Biology B marking guide, Biology B Gizmo Evolution and Mutation Marking Guide. So think of something that's appropriate. Here, describe your marking guide. Is this a paper? Is it a gizmo? Is it a project? Is it a poster? Is it, however you want to describe your marking guide? That is more for teachers to see. Students don't see that as much. And then when you scroll down, here's where you're going to develop your marking guide. So right here, you're going to click to edit your criterion name. And that is, if we go back to this, that is where I would put, for this example, activity A. So that is the first step in my marking guide. Now, if you were doing a paper and the first criteria for your paper was content, that's what you would name the criteria that you want to grade that paper on. You can be as descriptive or non-descriptive as you want for the criterion name. The nice thing is that there is a description students see. So if you say that this is a paper and I'm grading on the content, I can select what description do we want students to see about that? What do we want them to know that they're going to be graded on? So your paper should address all 3 topics covered in assignment 0.3 or something. Whatever content you want in that paper or in that activity, this is what the students see when they are doing the assignment. So definitely make that description as detailed and as specific as you can be. Now, the description for markers, that is assuming that another teacher were going to be grading your class. How do we want them to know how to grade this? So, again, here is not as important that you are as specific, assuming that you are going to be grading it, but students should address, I'm just making something up. Let's say the 3 topics covered in assignment point 3 are red, yellow, and green. Students should address red, yellow, and green. So that way someone grading it would know what the 3 topics covered in assignment 2.3 are. Again, here it's not as important. The students do not see that. Maximum score, pretty straightforward. What score do you want to attach to that criteria? Now we've already done that. So we've done one of the criteria of our marking guide or rubric. Again, if I were doing the biology B example, I would have put activity A and the point value as 30 and described activity A for that purpose. Now here's where you click to add another criterion. So again, going back to the example, the next would be activity B for my biology B example, but if I'm doing a paper, maybe it's spelling. And then I click here and I want, say, students should have fewer than 2 spelling errors, excuse me, or points or something. Just describe what the expectation is there. And then again, the description for markers. So for the teacher that's grading it, and then what point value do you want attached to that? And you can keep doing this to add your criterion. You can add as many as you want or as few as you want. And then the last step is to add frequently used comments. So that is where this common feedback column comes into play. So what do you find yourself saying over and over and over and over again? Like use spell check, or I don't know. It's different for each assignment, right? But you can add a frequently used comment, and then you can add as many as you want. So if I were to do the biology B example, I would just copy, Control C, Control V, and then add another one. And add as many frequently used comments as you want. And then you're going to, as soon as you have everything set, it looks just like you have your criterion, the points, the description for students, and your frequently used comments. Make sure that these 2 are marked checked because you do want those to be shown. And then you save your marking guide and make it ready. Now, if you start on this and you don't get it done, you can save as a draft. That's fine. Please do that. But assuming that you have it done, you click Saving Marking Guide and make it ready. And then it's done. Now, what does the student see? I have an example in a different class. So here is a assignment in biology B that I already have a marking guide in. This is an actual assignment. And students, I'm logged in as a student right now. So this is what they see, the assignment, the worksheet, and then they see the grading criteria. So activity 1 is scientific versus ethical questions. The maximum score is 30. I did not put a ton of descriptors into the criterion for this assignment. So be aware that when you do, it will have more stuff written there. So this was just kind of a quick attempt at it when I was playing around with it, but just be aware that the students do see it. They do see that there are different point breakdowns for the assignment. Now, as a teacher, okay, here we go. What do you see? Now, again, this is the one I just created. So it's assuming this is the paper, whatever, the content it should have. Now you can put your own developed comment, new comment in there, or you can insert frequently used comment. So use spell check and 10. And then you can there, and then 5. And then you click save and you're graded. So it makes grading much more frequent or much more easy. Let me know if you have questions. I'm running out of recording limit. Hope you have a good day. Bye.